King, can you call out 13, please? What is it? A over 2 divided by 2. Yeah, yeah. Trying to get A. Now, the first thing we usually do when we have two fractions together, we need to get it to we can get it to the lowest common denominator stage is a good idea. So that, remember, it's 3 arrows. The first arrow means you multiply the denominators by each other. The second arrow means you bring up the 3 behind the A. And the third line, which is the red line, means you multiply B by 2. So you'll get here is 3A plus 2B divided by 6 equals C over 1. Now, what we've often said about these formulas is that if you can cross multiply, do it. We actually can cross multiply here. We can bring the 6 up behind the C, and we can bring the 1 up here. Okay? So what you end up getting next is this 1 into 3A plus 2B equals 6C. Now what we have is 3A plus 2B equals 6C. What letter are we looking to get on its own? A. So the targeted formula is A. So let's write down bomb dash for what happens to A. A is being multiplied by, and then it's been 2B has been added to it. So what we need to do here is we need to get rid of the addition first, which means the minus 2B, the 2B has to go. When it crosses the equal sign, it turns into minus 2B. And then the 3, which is multiplication on the left, becomes division on the right. And we get 6C minus 2B all over 3. Did anybody get any alternate answers for that one? So go for it. One bracket 3A plus B. Yeah. Third C. Now, the first thing to remember is when you're multiplying, if you're multiplying any number by a half, see the way it's a half multiplied by 3A plus B? Yeah? What you're actually doing is you're actually halving 3A plus B. So it's going to be 3A plus B divided by 2. It's the same thing, isn't it? And this side is going to be C over 3. If cross multiply, and which letter are we looking to get on its own? Looking to get A on its own. Now remember, if cross multiplication is available to you, what do? You do it. So 3 into 3A plus B equals 2C then. And then we get 9A plus 3B equals 2C. Now what's going to happen here is we're going to write down what happens to A. The explanation of bomb dash for A. So A is being multiplied by M. It's being multiplied by 9. And then once it's been multiplied, it's going to be 3B is going to be added onto it. So we start at the bottom and work our way up. The first thing we encounter is the addition. We need to get rid of the addition. The 3B goes over the other side. So we end up with 9A equals 2C minus 3B. As we continue up, we end up encountering the multiplication. Get rid of that 9. If 9 is multiplication on one side, it's got to be division on the other. So that is the formula for that. So are we happy? Any questions? 27. Okay. So 27 S equals UT plus a half AT squared. And we're trying to get which one? A on its own. So first and foremost, we notice that they haven't got the same denominator, do they? No. Okay. So what we could do here is we could give them the same denominator. So we end up with S over 1 equals 2 UT. Sorry, we'll just rewrite this first because I think I might confuse you with the first step. So what you end up getting is ut over 1 plus at squared over 2. We haven't changed the formula at all, have we? No. The more complicated side is the right hand side. Deal with the right hand side on its own and almost do like a simplified type question. In a simplified type question we have 3 lines, 1 by 2, 2 by ut, and 1 by at. So at squared. So it's going to be s over 1 equals 2ut plus at squared all over 2. Okay, next step. We can now cross multiply, so we do it. And when we cross multiply, we get 2s equals 2ut plus a half at. Oh, sorry, no, at squared, not a half at squared. We got rid of that. At squared. Now, what we're going to notice here is 2 things are happening. We're going to write down our bomb das and what happens to the a. So remember, guys, we're looking at the a. The a is what we want on its own. This is our target. A is being multiplied by t squared. And then once that happens, 2ut is being added onto it. So what we need to get rid of first is the 2ut. So what I'm actually going to propose we do is we spin it first. Before anything else, we're going to just spin it around. So we'll have the a on the right hand side. So it's going to be at squared plus 2ut. Does that make sense? Same thing, isn't it? Equals 2s. Bring the 2ut over to the other side. So we're going to get at squared equals 2s minus. So we're going to get at squared equals 2s minus 2ut. And now we got to get rid of the t squared. And if the t squared is multiply on one side, what is over the other side? So, as you can see, lads, this is quite a difficult question. Okay. Now, this one here is as follows, okay? We're looking at q on its own. And we notice that q is in the denominator position, as in it's the bottom of the fraction, okay? So can everybody just look up? Alright. What happens here, lads, is the following. What happens here, lads, is we have p over 1, that's r over 1. The more complicated side has 2 fractions. And remember what we do with 2 fractions. Blue line means multiply the bottoms. Red line means multiply p by q. And the black line means multiply 1 by t. So what we're going to get here, q times 1 is q. P by q is pq. 1 by t is t. And that equals r over 1. We can cross multiply. If we can cross multiply, we do it. Q by r, 1 multiplied by everything in this bracket. So what we're getting here is pq plus t equals rq. Now, there's a big problem with this at the moment. We actually have for these questions here, when q starts off as a denominator, okay, you might end up with 2 q's. So what you have to do is you have to move both q's over the same side. So to do this, what we can do is we can move rq back over and move t over the other side. So we're going to get is pq minus rq equals t. Minus t. Because it changes, okay? Now, to fix this up, what we need to do is we need to say that we need to factorize. We need to, for 27, 28, and 29, you need to factorize at this stage. You take out q, and what you're going to be left with is p minus r. And that equals minus t. Now, if you did the bomb das on q, what's happening to the single q is nothing's been added to it. It's only being multiplied. The q is being multiplied by p minus r. So when you bring p minus r over the other side, it's going to become division. Now, if you don't get this answer in the back of your book, don't be worried about it. What can actually happen is, if you did it a slightly different way, what your answer could look like is, if you were to multiply the top and bottom by -1, okay, of this side, your answer could look like this. T divided by minus p plus r, which is the exact same thing as t over r minus p. The acceptable answers for this question are this one, and this one. All three answers will get you equal marks. Okay.